Okay, here we are getting ready for the 1981 IFL Championship. The Super Bowl. Tombstone Black Riders will be facing the Wilmington Generals. Just making sure I've got things working here. Right. Okay, and we've started. Wendell Tyler just caught a pass for 13 yards, beating Woodrow Lowe. And Tombstone's out to their own 47, 1st and 10. Short to Duriel Harris. It's going to be picked off. Four-yard return. Ken Riley, longtime Bengal, with the interception there. And Craig Morton's second pass of the day is picked off. Ken Anderson outwit Ted Brown. Joe Washington, 1st and 10. Wilmington at their own 42. Just getting started here. The 1981 Super Bowl. Short to Joyner, 16-yard pickup. Okay, got Steve listening in. Hey, Steve, welcome to join if you'd like. And it's going to be a short gain. Joe Washington going off tackle. Big one, 18 yards down to the Tombstone 24, 1st down. So we're just a couple of minutes in. Short pass, Dan Ross, I believe led the team in receptions, incomplete there. Kenny Anderson has had many great seasons in an IFL franchise. This is one of his better cards. And that's saying a lot when you go back to 74, 75 especially. So 2nd and 10. Both teams run a 3-4. Flat pass to Dan Ross. Defense calls run. There's a snap fumble by Kenny Anderson. The defense is on it. Kenny Anderson with a bare minimum snap fumble of 1 in 1,000 fumbles and loses it there. So break for Tombstone to end the scoring threat.
Be quiet, guys.
Run by Wendell Tyler. Linebacker Hubert Oliver. And nose tackle makes the play. Don Smith, who's a 6. And that play will lose a yard. So we'll set up 3rd and 6 for Morton. Go 3 wide receiver, 1 fullback with Tim Wilson in at fullback. Wilson is a 7 pass blocker. So he's got a 6 at left linebacker. There's a short or a flat pass rather for 7 yards, and that'll move the chains. 1st and 10. Tombstone at their own 36. Dave Casper with the catch. First catch of the day for Casper. It's along the Monk. Nobody deep. Guessed right. Cover by 4. It's going to be a dump off. He's got a short gain, 11-yard pickup. 1st down. Tombstone at their own 47. Correct double team. I'm going to look into Tyler. Incomplete. Tyler had a bunch of catches, something like 98 during the year. Also ran very well for Brandon. 2nd 10. Tombstone on their own 47. Then run right, Tyler. But guess wrong. 69 yards. Wendell Tyler strikes pay dirt.
Wow.
47-yard touchdown run. That's the way to start a game off after an interception, and the extra point is good. So 7-0 Tombstone to open. It's Mike Nelms with a 15-yard return out to the 21, and Wilmington, after the rare snap fumble by Ken Anderson, gives up a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Tombstone. 9:36 left in the first. Off tackle Washington, guess wrong. Does not get the block. 2-yard pickup. 2nd 8. There's a draw to Ted Brown. It's going to be keyed. Defense calls run. That's going to set up 3rd and 9. Good call there. So 7-0 Tombstone. Wilmington with a 3rd and 9 will stay in the blocking back set. Both running backs are excellent catching the ball. So you don't have to bring in a 3rd wide receiver to have good wide receivers on some teams, especially in this era. And that's the situation here. Ted Brown, Joe Washington, both excellent receivers. Both going against 4s as well. It's going to be short to Joe Washington. Incomplete. So it looks like Tombstone's going to get the ball with relatively good field position, barring a boomer punt. We seem to have missed something.
The block punt was a
was
block punt,
it?
Tim. Yep.
Wow.
Block punt by Tombstone.
So Tombstone, with a couple of breaks early, takes over at the Wilmington 6. Linebacker Hubert Oliver. Snap fumble.
Mel Blount runs it in for a touchdown, it says. That was weird. Was that on the block?
I do not know. My game looks like it is trying to crash. I'm going to shut down and reload.
No, it was Hubert Oliver. He ran in 6 yards for a touchdown.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But my game went weird, too. It said Mel Blount for a second, when he was on the field.
Okay.
So right now, Cincinnati's moving the ball. They're at Wilmington's 45. While you're down there,
Okay.
got an incomplete pass by Anderson, so it's 2nd and 10 from the 45 of Wilmington.
Okay. Thanks. Why don't you do the play-by-play here for a second while I get
Yep.
the
Joe Washington
speaker.
runs 5 yards, so it's 3rd and 5 on the 50-yard line. Defense is in a nickel defense, 3-3-5. Offense is in a blocking back. Give an end run to Washington. He's going to lose you, or actually he's going to gain 2 or 3. So it's going to be 4th and 2 at the 47-yard of Tombstone, and Wilmington's going to go for it. Probably feeling the pressure down 14-0, and on the right side of the field to do it if you're going to do it. So defense is in a 3-4 pro set offense. Big play here for defense. Off tackle, you rest a pass. Guess wrong. Left zone flat pass, looks like. Ted Brown. Actually, it's weird. Now it says a run for 3 yards. He got the first down. This is definitely weird the way it looks. But he got the first down. They're on Tombstone's 44, 1st and 10. Ted Brown rushes for 3 yards. Rolled a fumble roll on the defensive card. 1 linebacker zone. Fumble plus 3. Next play was a Dan Ross flat pass. It was incomplete. Linebacker makes the play. Mike Hagman on the defensive play. And it's 2nd and 10 from Tombstone's 44. We've got a short pass to Charlie Joyner. Guessed right. 4 in the zone. Caught for 15 yards. Down the Tombstone's 29-yard line. Charlie Joyner makes it look easy. Caught that on Mel Blount. He actually was on the field that play, but got him turned around. Blocking back formation. Defense is a 3-4. What has Jay got drawn up for this play? Long pass to Jefferson. Jefferson's double teamed. So is Dan Ross. It's going to be incomplete. Cut the receiver, but the double team was a linebacker, so it looks like the receiver's on the defensive card, but it's still missed. That's a roll 6. So the double team really didn't matter.
Okay, I think I've got the game back up here. Let's
It's all
see.
yours.
Good job. It felt like I was right there. Good job calling
Awesome.
it. Okay, here we go. 2nd and 10. Wilmington at the Tombstone 29. Flag. 10-yard penalty. Holding on Wilmington. It's going to set up 2nd and 20 from the Tombstone 39. Blocking back set with the Joe Washington, 3-3-5 on the D. It's long to Jefferson, being double teamed again. Mike Reinfeldt, who will move into the long zone. It's going to be a dump off, and it gets 13, setting up 3rd and 7 at the Tombstone 26. Just under 3 minutes left in the first. Best kicker in the league is on Wilmington, however, and he's in range. However, down 14-0. If it gets close, it may tempt Jay to go ahead and go for it. So blocking back set, 3-3-5. It's got perfect containment if he leaves the middle linebacker at home, who's a 6. It's long to Jefferson, being double teamed by a linebacker here. There is a man deep. It's going to be a 41-yard catch, 26-yard touchdown, John Jefferson. So Wilmington comes right back down and gets on the board. Nick Lowry on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's 14-7, late first. So probably felt good for Jay after falling down 14-0 to get on the board there and cut it to a 1-score game. Take a quick look at the box score. Yeah, Oliver had a 6-yard touchdown run, 53-yard touchdown run for Wendell Tyler, and there's the blocked punt. It's going to be an incomplete short pass for John Jefferson, or brother Duriel Harris. And set up 2nd and 10. Wilmington hoping to get a stop and get a chance to get back down and tie it. Tombstone hoping to extend their lead again. Linebacker Oliver, guess wrong. It's got a short gain, 18-yard pickup. So Oliver, already with a taste of the end zone, gets it down inside the Tombstone or Wilmington 40 at the 39, 1st and 10. Short to Monk, single coverage, incomplete. Last 2 Morton short passes were guessed right and got an 8 both times. Would have been a receiver guessed wrong. 2nd and 10. Short to Casper, being double teamed, picks it up anyway. Nice throw by Morton, 16 yards, 1st down. There's a flat to Wendell Tyler, guess wrong. He's got 10, 1st down. So Tombstone moving right back down after giving up a touchdown to make it 14-7. Now they're in position to take the lead. If I'm not mistaken, he's got kind of an iffy kicker. I think we saw that in the AFC Championship game where
Yeah, his kicker's not great.
Yeah, it's going to be a short game. That's going to get in the end zone again. So Duriel Harris scores a touchdown, and Wilmington, who only gave up I want to say just under 10 points per game, has been rattled for 21 first quarter points here. And that does end the first quarter, 21-7 Tombstone. And Mike Nelms with a nice 40-yard kickoff return puts them inside Tombstone territory at the 48, 1st and 10. It's going to be a 13-yard pickup for Joyner on a short pass, 1st down. Short to Joe Washington, guessed right, 4-man in zone. It's got 10 yards, 1st down. So Anderson, 7 for 12, 100 yards and a touchdown early. It's going to be off tackle left, guess wrong. Linebacker in zone. Lauren, the terrible towels, unable to make the play. He's a 0 and had to be a 4 to make that play. So pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. There's an illegal motion penalty, 2nd and 11. So with 11 or more yards, defense has a 3-3-5 option, and they do go to it. James Brooks in at halfback. Soft tackle left, Brooks. Gets the block, 8-yard pickup. It's going to set up 3rd and 3. Wilmington at the Tombstone 18. Nice block there by Ken Jones. Goes to the pro set. A little harder to have a correct run key. It's going to be a look into Ross throwing at a 6, guess right. 7-yard pickup, Anderson to Ross. And Wilmington's got a 1st and 10 at the Tombstone 11. Short to Joyner will be guess strong against 4 men in zone. Ooh! Intercepted 2. Incomplete 3 through 12, and he rolls the 3. So that would have been picked off, guess right. 2nd 10 at the 11. Short to Washington, guess strong. Incomplete. Not many of those on Anderson's card. So it'll set up 3rd and 10 at the Tombstone 11. No, you'll see Kenny Anderson sneak out and run a couple of end runs during this game, but this may not be the down distance he wants to use them. But then again, it could be. Might get down to the, say, the 3 or 4 and go ahead and go for it, being down 14 points. We'll see. But Ken Anderson, definitely a good runner. Short to Joyner, not double teamed, 4 men in zone. Another one right off the interception. So Ken Anderson living close to the edge. Nick Lowry's going to come on 4th and 10 and cuts the lead to 21-10. There are no 2-point conversions in 1981, so keep that in mind. 26-yard return there for John Holt. And 1st and 10, Craig Morton up 21-10 at his own 24. It's linebacker Oliver, guess wrong, grabbed 7. So Oliver, 4 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown early. And run Tyler, guess wrong, beats the defensive end, got 5 yards, 1st down. Ben Williams is a 5, but had to be a 6 to be able to have made that play. Tyler, 3 carries, 63 yards, long touchdown run. And Duriel Harris unable to make the play, so 2nd 10. Just under 9 minutes left in the first half. And run right Tyler, guess wrong. And Williams able to make the play there, -2. So that'll set up 3rd and 12. Brendan had mentioned after the AFC Championship game, he did not run Tyler quite as much as he normally would, figuring Anthony was going to look at his tendencies and maybe be very aware of that. So we'll see how much usage Tyler gets during this game. He's got some fumbles, but he's definitely got a lot of yards on that card. And as we saw, he can take it to the house. So 3rd and 10, Wilson in as the blocking back. 3 wide receiver set. Short to Duriel Harris, not double teamed. Defender makes the play. So Ken Riley, after an early pick, makes the play, being a 5. That's what it took. It's going to be a punt down to the 11. James Brooks returns it for 8 out to the 19. So Wilmington down 21-10, has the ball back. Tombstone received the first half kickoff. There's a 6-yard flat pass to Ted Brown. 2nd and 4. So look into Ross going against the 6, guess right. 7-yard pickup. Moves chains. 6:36 left in the half. It's going to be on run left, Washington, guessed right. It's got 5. Nice first down pickup there, guessed right. You can see from Washington's card, he's got a much better guess right card than most guys do. A lot of guys will have losses of 5 to 8 yards on like 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8. And he's only got one -6 on 5. And Washington finds the box and gets 21. Big pickup down to the Tombstone 42 for Wilmington. 8 carries, 76 yards early for Joe Washington. Some double teams, one of them on Joyner, correctly, short to Joyner. And he got 16. That was a linebacker double team on that side. He had the free safety double teaming John Jefferson. So Anderson up to 11 for 19, 136 and a touchdown. Short to Joe Washington, guess wrong. 16-yard pickup. So Wilmington moves it quickly down to the Tombstone 10. The Black Riders hoping to save the end zone and force a field goal attempt. 1st and 10. Short to Washington, guess right. 1 blitzer. It's incomplete. Washington's got on a 6 max flat short pass card. He's got 5. So excellent receiver for a running back. That's about as good as it gets. So 2nd and 10. And here's where you might see Ken Anderson on an end run. Only thing is, if he gets the -6 or 7, then you're definitely looking at a field goal. Short to Joe Washington. No blitzers. Touchdown. So Ken Anderson finds the 9 roll of +16 a couple of 3 times on the drive. And the extra point is good. 21-17 Tombstone. 4:12 left in the half. And Tombstone's going to start at their own 33, and the Black Riders holding on to a 4-point lead. So look into Tyler, going against a 5. Nice 7-yard pickup. Both quarterbacks with a +7 guessed right on their flat card. This came up a few times already. Tyler's got 41 yards receiving already. 2nd and 3. Linebacker Vince Thompson and linebacker Greg Bingham comes in and makes the stop. -1, setting up a 3rd and 4. 2:42 left in the first half. Linebacker Oliver, guess right, got 7 yards. So Hubert Oliver's had a good first half. 5 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. The way he's calling timeout, 2:06 left. In run right, Tyler. Guess wrong. Does not get the block, so stays in bounds, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 10. Not showing blitz. Formations and free safety blitz wide open in 2 minutes or less. Short to Casper. It's guessed wrong. And Casper's got 16. First down. Does not get out of bounds. We'll see if either team takes a timeout. Probably not. Yeah, they're going hurry up here. Short to Duriel Harris. Again, 16 yards. So +7 on flats and +16 on shorts have been the numbers of the roulette wheel you'd want your money on so far. 21-17, 1:15 remaining. First half. Tombstone driving again. Morton 9 of 14, 109, a pick and a touchdown. There's an 8-yard carry for Hubert Oliver, who's got a really low fumble chance. Only 6 guessed wrong, so very low fumble chance. Not perfect, but very low. Offense does take a timeout here. So pro set, Wilmington will show blitz out of their 3-4. It's off tackle left. Tyler guessed wrong. It's got 2, and that'll move the chains. Defense takes a timeout here. It's always fun watching the clock go down, and each play chooses kind of how the opposing offenses and defenses are viewing the clock. So Tombstone wanting to save time 2 plays ago. Wilmington now wanting to save time. So 1 minute left, each team with 2 timeouts. 1st and 10 at the Wilmington 12. Guessed wrong and run. Got 3 yards and got out of bounds. So no more flat passes here. No more draws. No more boxes. And Wilmington will show blitz. 2nd and 7. Tyler's fumble is quite a bit higher than Hubert Oliver's. It's going to be short to Duriel Harris. Major blitz, touchdown. There's +16 again. So Craig Morton, 10 of 15, 118, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The pick came early, and 28 points on the board for Tombstone. Once again, Wilmington's allowing like 10 points per game. So Brandon's got to be happy to get 28 points on the board the first quarter. Got a little help with the blocked punt, but otherwise just moving the ball really well. He's probably over, I'm guessing, 200 yards. Yeah, 228, and Wilmington's got 248. So both teams moving the ball well. James Brooks in. Wilmington starting at their own 20 in a blocking back set. 2 timeouts for each team. And run left Brooks. And he's going to get a nice block and pick up 5. 2nd and 5. Does get out of bounds. Then run left to James Brooks. Guess wrong. Get 0, stays in bounds. We'll see if either team wants a timeout. Wilmington doesn't have the field position, but they're down 11. They would really have to hump it to get into field goal range with one timeout left. So we'll see what they do. No, they're not taking a timeout. So 3rd and 5, Wilmington from their own 25. Penalty can extend to play. So if it does get a big gainer and gets a penalty, he will get one untimed play at the end of it. Here's an end run, no containment. He's going to get 9, stays in bounds. So Wilmington will take the timeout and have 1 second, needing 66 yards. Or if you can get a chunk play and maybe get a personal foul, get the untimed play, get a shot at a long field goal here. Let's go with 3 wide receiver, 1 fullback shotgun, 3-2-6 on D. So look into Marcus Anderson. It'll be guessed wrong with nobody in zone and less than 5 linemen and linebackers on the line of scrimmage. It'll be an 18-yard pickup, but unless there's a penalty, that's going to end the half. So Tombstone up 28-17. Big 21-point first quarter. Well, in the honor of Kenny Anderson, who used to do coffee commercials, I'm going to go refill my coffee. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Okay, back and looks like Jay said, I hoped I could keep Craig Morton under the runs that the Reds scored against Charlie Morton yesterday, 24 in that half. Apparently not. When Jay's nickname being put 14 in the hall, if I'm not mistaken, that's talking about Kenny Anderson and not Pete Rose, who I think was also 14 when he was with the Reds. I might be wrong, but it seemed like Pete Rose was number 14. Guess we could take a quick look for trivia purposes. He was born April 14th. Interesting. It's my mom's birthday. Yeah, Pete Rose was number 14. Thought I remembered that. Never had his jersey. I did like him quite a bit as a player when I was a very young kid, due to the same reason he got his nickname, Charlie Hustle. I just liked the aggressive way he ran the bases and always seemed ready to play. Not like, oh, I've got another game. He always seemed like he was ready to play baseball. So Wilmington will get the ball down 11, and again, no 2-point conversions. So take a quick look at the stats. As we saw, both teams over 200 yards in the first half. Tombstone, interesting, 15 first downs, and they've only gotten to third down 3 different times, 2 of which they converted. Teams average roughly about 10, maybe more third down attempts, so 3 only in the first half. Wilmington's got 16 first downs, 280 yards compared to Tombstone's 228. Wilmington had the fumble by Ken Anderson on the same possession that they were driving after Craig Morton had thrown a pick on his first possession. It's been clean since then. Had a blocked punt as well in the mid-first. And Wendell Tyler, again, 53-yard touchdown to get things started. And then after the blocked punt, Hubert Oliver scored from 6. John Jefferson got a 26-yard touchdown off his own card on a long pass from Ken Anderson. Then Duriel Harris from Craig Morton to make it 21-7. Lowry cut it to 21-10 with a field goal. Joe Washington, 10-yard pass to make it 21-17. And then Duriel Harris, a 9-yard touchdown from Morton to make it 28-17. Take a quick look at the ball possession, and you'll see Tombstone, interception, touchdown, 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 punt, touchdown. Wilmington, after taking over with an interception, had a fumble, then they punted, and then touchdown, field goal, touchdown, end of half. Okay, we're about to get started here. Tombstone 9-7, Wilmington 15-1. So just seeing if they played. I don't believe so. And Brooks with a 15-yard return out to the 33, and that's where Ken Anderson will take over to start the second half. It's going to be Joe Washington with an off-tackle short gain. Nice one, 18 yards. Gets inside Tombstone field at the 49. Staying in the blocking back set. Joe Washington, the lone halfback. Short to Dan Ross. Guess right, no blitzers. It's going to be a dump off. 4-yard pickup to Charlie Joyner. 2nd and 6. One of the things I know Jay is aware of, when you're down 11, you think, okay, well, I've got to have at least 12 or to take the lead, or 11 to get it tied. But probably not going to shut Tombstone out either. And just say you hold them to 10, 38, you need 21 points to be able to get to 38 yourself. So even though it's an 11-point game, you got to think about scoring several times, and teams are less likely to be content with running 6 or 8 minutes off the clock when down. So nice job there. 4-minute in zone. Kenny Anderson still found Joyner for 11. So 1st and 10 at the Tombstone 27. Short to Ross. Guess wrong. 4 men. Incomplete. So we saw Kenny Anderson find that incomplete 10 short, and there's the 2. And of course, he's also rolled the 11 for the interception split. 2nd and 10. Still have, there's a short pass to Joe Washington. Guess wrong. Defender X, 17-yard pickup. So big game for Joe Washington. 4 catches, 53 yards, running well as you have seen. Ball 1st and 10 at the Tombstone 10. And again, Kenny Anderson has a great end run guess wrong column. Might not need it just yet. He's got plenty of carries for Washington, and I don't think he likes Ted Brown's card quite as well. So short pass double teamed. Charlie Joyner, incomplete. And good call by Brandon. It would have been incomplete anyway, but nice call there. Black Rudders don't show blitz all that much. It's double team. Here's Ken Anderson on a left end run. And he got 5. So it'll set up 3rd and goal at the 5. First end run of the game. 1 remaining for Anderson, I believe. Yes. So Ken Jones makes another block there. That's 3 at least that we've seen, all run blocks. It's going to be guess wrong. End run right, Washington. It got 4, but holding against Wilmington. We'll move them back out to their own 15. 3rd and goal. So might we see another Ken Anderson run here? James Brooks in at halfback. There's no containment on 3rd and goal from the 15. So Washington 10 carries, 101 yards, as we saw earlier, having a nice receiving day as well. Soft tackle left to Brooks. He's got the block, 8-yard pickup down to the 7. That'll bring on Nick Lowry. Try to cut it to an 8-point game. And he got it. So Tombstone up 28-20, 9:18 left, 3rd quarter. And they will take over at their own 26 after Arthur Whittington gets a 14-yard kickoff return. 1st down. Short to Casper, big time blitz. 3 linebackers coming. Incomplete. Short to Monk. Incomplete. Got the interception split 2 through 6, 11 and 12, but rolled the 8. So 3rd and 10, Tombstone at their own 26. Drew Pearson in at 3rd wide receiver. Wilson staying in as a 7-pass blocker. Short to Monk, not being double teamed. 13-yard pickup. So Craig Morton, nice throw, having a solid game after the early pick. 11 of 18, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Seems like he's thrown more than 18 times, but Oliver and Tyler have ran well, and it just hasn't taken long for teams to get in the end zone on either end. It's going to be a flat left to Duriel Harris, and he's got 5. So 2nd and 5. So linebacker Hubert Carter does not get the block. Edwin Bailey being a 0. Unable to make it. White dot 5. So 3rd and 5. Tombstone at their own 44. We'll see if they go back to the 3 wide receiver look or if they keep Tyler in, who's a good flat receiver. And if they don't bring in Tim Wilson, and they won't, they'll use Tyler and Vince Thompson. And Wilmington still goes to the 3-3-5. They do not have perfect containment on line bucket off tackle runs. Here's short to Monk, and it's going to be a sack. Ben Williams gets home. And on 4th and 16, Birdsong out to punt. Not a good punt, but he gets a favorable roll. 31-yard punt, 7-yard roll for a net of 38. He'll take it. And Ken Anderson will take over at his own 29. Double team on Jefferson. It's a linebacker double team, long to Jefferson. It's going to be a dump off, short gain, 15-yard pickup. Joe Washington. So Washington over 100 rushing and 5 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown receiving. So nice game for Joe Washington. Wilmington 1st and 10 at their own 44. Down 2 scores, 28-20. 6 minutes left in the 3rd. Flat pass left to Washington, 2-minute zone, +7. That's the lucky number on flat passes today, +7. Second and 3 goes to the pro set here. Might see Ted Brown for a carry or so. Off tackle right, Brown. Guess wrong. It's going to get 21. Box check +11 and the box. So 21-yard pickup down to the Tombstone 29. Now he's in Lowry's field goal range. Can't blitz here. Feels a little like football season to me. I was off work yesterday, and sort of like football season, Sundays end up feeling almost like as much work. End up watching 10 hours of football yesterday. Of course, it was basketball, but there's an incomplete on a short pass. Anderson looking for Joe Washington. So set up 2nd and 10. Short to Joyner. He's not being double teamed. 4-minute zone. Incomplete. It's a couple of times we've seen that 5 come up with 4 men incomplete. And if it's 3 men, that's receiver. So good job moving a guy into the correct zone there by Brandon. 28-20 Tombstone. Wilmington with a 3rd and 10 at the Tombstone 28. And they're staying in base formation with a blocking back set. And again, both guys out of the backfield, great receivers. Long to Jefferson, no men deep. It's going to be a sack. That's going to drive them to the edge of field goal range. Big time sack there by Roland Lawrence. It's actually Mark Gastineau who forced the sack. Gastineau, a 12*12. And here's Lowry trying from 55. And that's going to come up short. And Tombstone, big sack there to knock Lowry out of field goal range. Looked like he rolled a 5, so Lowry would have nailed that from the 40-yard range, but from 55, doesn't quite get there. So Tombstone, 28-20 lead, 3:54 remaining, third quarter. And run right, Tyler. Dave Casper with the block, needed to be a 6, and he said no problem. 9-yard pickup, second and 1. Linebacker Oliver guessed wrong, loaded zone, and he loses a yard. Steve Nelson making the play. So 3rd and 2. We'll see if he stays pro set again here. He does. Vince Thompson in it, running back. Fullback, I should say. It's a linebacker Thompson being keyed. Loses a yard and fumbles. The Black Riders recover, so they'll hold on to the ball. Will they try to return it? Oops, 5-yard offsides, mandatory penalty, so 3rd and 7. Would have been interesting to see if they would have probably tried to return it, only needing 3 yards. Normally, with a 2-score lead, you don't want to recover those type of fumbles and then try to return them, but only needing 3 yards for a first down, I think he would have done it. Single back set, Wendell Tyler, 3rd and 7, 3-3-5 blitz. Drew Pearson in at third wide receiver, and they're in a shotgun, so draw's the only play here if you run it. Tyler, a good receiver, as we've talked about. Look into Casper. 1 man there, and it's incomplete. Hoping to get lucky and get that 7+7 again, which we've seen several times, but we're not able to pick it up there. 12 for 20 on the day, 136 and a couple of scores. Here's Birdsong, 43-yard punt and an 8-yard roll. It's going to put Wilmington in the shadow of the goalpost at their own 10. Just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Wilmington needing a score, down 28-20. And again, no 2-point conversions in 1981. Off tackle left, Washington. Pick up a 5. Ted Brown with a nice block there, serving as the defensive, or rather the offensive left end as a 6 run blocker out of the blocking back set. And Ted Brown picking up 19 on his own. So we've seen him get a box earlier, and he gets another one here on a double box roll on a linebacker. 4 carries, 42 yards for Ted Brown. And just like that, Wilmington out to their own 34. Flat pass right, Ted Brown against a 4, guess right. Linebacker 6, 10-yard pickup, first down. Last play of the third quarter coming. Short to Dan Ross, being double teamed by Harry Carson. Incomplete. That might have been a catch. Yeah, that would have been plus 15. But nice double team by Brandon. And we begin the fourth quarter. Tombstone up 28-20. These are a couple of expansion teams from 1968. Wilmington has won a couple of titles in 1975 and 79, I believe, was the second one. So 1st and 10 as Joe Washington makes a 7-yard run, and the personal foul on Tombstone gives them 15 more. So Wilmington again flirting with good field goal range. 6-yard pickup to Dan Ross. Anderson 21 of 35, 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And now they're at the Tombstone 28, 2nd and 4. Wilmington does not want to fall out of field goal range. They would love to get this to be a one-score game, even if they don't get the touchdown. Linebacker Ted Brown. Guess wrong, one man in zone. 7-yard pickup, 1st down. So about a 4.5, 5-minute drive, but from their own 10, Wilmington's on the Tombstone 21 with a 1st down. Short to Joyner, guess wrong. Working against the 6 over there. 16-yard pickup. And offsides declined by Wilmington. So 1st and goal at the Tombstone 5. It's going full house. Frank Hawkins joins the backfield. Pretty good guess right runner. Short pass, guessed right, touchdown. Joe Washington with a nice catch off his card. So Wilmington unable to go for 2 will take the extra point and make it 28-27. And John Holt with a 25-yard return after the short kickoff, and Tombstone will take over at the 40, up by 1, 12.5 left in the game. Hubert Oliver's going to lose a yard. Steve Nelson again, 2nd time recently, needed to be a 5, and that's what he is. So 2nd and 11. Flat left, Wendell Tyler. He picks up 8. It was a defender +2 or +8, and Woodrow Lowe's a 5, but the roll was 6. So nice conversion there. Gets them out of containment, sets up 3rd and 3 at the 47 pro set. Short to Monk being double teamed, incomplete. Good call by Jay. And that'll set up a 4th and 3. We'll see. I expect a punt. Going to go for it. Goes to the pro set. Short yardage, short pass to Uriel Harris, incomplete. So got the call. Hoping to catch the defense looking run. He did, but Morton unable to make the completion there. So Wilmington taking over at the Tombstone 47, just under 11 minutes left, down by 1. Flat pass Ted Brown, guess right. He beats the linebacker, 14-yard pickup, 1st down. So they're at the edge of good field goal range for Nick Lowry here. Off tackle left, Joe Washington guessed right. 7-yard pickup on 9, guessed right. Nice card there, guessed right for Joe Washington, as you see. Lots of 2-yard plays or better. 22 chances of 2 yards or better, guessed right. So 2nd and 3, flat, guessed right, flat left, Joe Washington. Got 6, first down. Kenny Anderson nearing 300 passing yards for the day. And Joe Washington's nearing 100 yards rushing and receiving. So 1st and 10 at the Tombstone 20. Short to Joyner, guessed right. Incomplete. Bulls the interception split there. 2nd and 10. Flat pass left. 1 man in zone, guessed right. And Ted Brown grabs it and goes for 4. Mike Hagman unable to make the play. So that's up 3rd and 6 at the Tombstone 16. With 8:24 left, I don't think you probably want to risk it. If you don't pick up the first down, you take the lead rather than go for the touchdown and maybe being down by 1, have a chance of being down 2 scores the next time you touch the ball. So pretty sure Jay's going to take the field goal if he doesn't get the first down here. Short to Jefferson, 1 man or 3 minute zone, or 4 minute zone, incomplete. So here's Lowry. He's 2 through 10 and needed it. Rolls the 10. That's why you like having good kickers. There's one that a pretty good kicker would miss, but not Nick Lowry. And once again, 32-yard return for John Holt. He's got 5 kickoff returns at 27.4. And with the short kickoff, Tombstone already out to their own 47 where they last had the ball. And there's a 2-yard loss on an in run by Tyler, setting up 2nd and 12. Tombstone at their own 45. Both coaches know this may be 4-down territory here in the middle of the field. Looking to Casper, not being double teamed. 12-yard pickup. Off his own card, guessed right. Really nice pickup there by Dave Casper. The amiable apparition. So Wilmington up 30-28, 6:18 left in the game. Short to Casper, incomplete. Just the way the score is, unlikely we're going to see overtime unless some odd scores or a safety, missed extra points, things like that happen. Probably looking at the last 6 minutes of the season here. 2nd and 10. Morton to the line. Short to Duriel Harris, 1 blitzer. It's going to be a dump off, incomplete. So it'll set up 3rd and 10 at the Wilmington 43, not in field goal range. Sean and I were talking about not a great kicker here. He's only 2 through 3 from the 33 and deeper. It's 50-50, 23-32. And 2 through 7, 11, and 12, if you get to the 22 or inside, even all the way down to the 1. So 3-3-5, 3 wide receiver with Tim Wilson in the block. Big play in this game, 5:42 left. I'd like to get part of this Short to Duriel Harris, double teamed, incomplete. So sets up a 4th and 10. We'll see if he punts to hold field position or goes for it on 4th and 10. He will go for it. Wendell Tyler in at halfback. Showing blitz. Tim Wilson not in to defend, or rather block the Astros pass rusher. So it's going to show blitz here. He is blitzing short to Monk, incomplete. Got the pass blocking to get the pass off, but incomplete. So Wilmington takes over at their own 43, up 30-28. Just over 5 minutes left. The 17th Super Bowl of IFL. Long to Ross, not being double teamed, going against the 6, no man in zone. It's going to be picked off, and Brandon's going to get the ball back right away. The return, no return. He tries to return it, but no yards. So Bill Thompson, one of the great veterans, just a regular all-pro safety and one of the best punt returners in football history, gets the big pick there. And so Tombstone down by 2 has the ball at their own 27. Once again, shaky field goal kicking, but you got 4:48 left. Off tackle right, Wendell Tyler got 3. It'll set up 2nd and 7. Pro set. It's going to be a flat left. Wendell Tyler, pick up a 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. Flag on the play. Holding against Tombstone. So that'll make it 2nd and 17. Tombstone with the ball at their own 20. They'll go with the 3 wide receiver look here. Tim Wilson staying in to block. The shotgun. Looking to Casper. And he's got 20. Linebacker 6-0. And he is not a 6. Big time pickup. Dave Casper's made a lot of big catches in this game. 20 yards there on 2nd and 17. And Tombstone's out to their own 40. Time is not a factor at the moment. 3:18 left, down by 2. Short Duriel Harris, 2 blitzers coming. Guessed right. It's going to be another dump off. Long gain. Who does it go to? As many as 55 yards. Goes to Casper. Down the field. Down at the 5. Dave Casper with back-to-back huge catches. 55 yards on the dump-off. And down at the Wilmington 5. Still only in 2 through 7, 11, and 12 field goal range. 2:42 remaining. So you really want to get it in the end zone if you're Brandon, not have to rely on Mickemeyer to make a 2 through 7, 11, and 12 field goal. Full house. Showing blitz. Lembuck Oliver, guess right. Touchdown, 7 yards. Hubert Oliver gets a +7 for a 5-yard touchdown. 2nd of the game. And here's Mickemeyer. And he's got the extra point. Tombstone goes ahead 35-30. And the kickoff to the 10, 15-yard return. So now Wilmington, 2:06 left. Both teams down to the last 2 minutes of the season. Wilmington down by 5, all 3 timeouts remaining, 75 yards away from Super Bowl winning touchdown. So Dave Casper, +20 on 2nd and 17, and then 55 on a dump-off to set up the game. go ahead score. Off tackle left, Washington. He's got 27, so Jay tried to get some of the yards, knowing the clock's going to stop. Gets a nice chunk play from Joe Washington. 27 yards. Washington's over 140 yards, 14 for 147. So Wilmington down by 5, 2 minutes left at the Tombstone 48. Great finish to the game. In run left, Anderson. Going to get 9. He gets the block over there. Ted Brown again blocking back, functioning as the offensive left end, makes the block. So 2nd and 1 at the Tombstone 39. Wilmington with all 3 timeouts. Great field goal kicker, but don't need him here. Got to have a touchdown. Looking at Ted Brown going against the 6. Linebacker in zone. X or short gain. Incomplete. Harry Carson making the play. It's 3rd and 1 at the Tombstone 39. Linebacker Ted Brown. Zone is loaded. Guess wrong. 4-yard pickup. First down. We'll see what Tombstone does with the clock. As Dennis and I talk about, he will go hurry up here, it looks like. Yeah. As Dennis and I have talked about on some broadcasts, as long as you have 37 seconds or more, the dump off's in play. After that, there's no dump off. But you don't want to leave time on the clock. Tombstone showed the options that become available when there's time on the clock. They get a long punt return and a field goal to win the AFC Championship. Here's a dump off Anderson, 2-yard pickup and out of bounds. So it's defender +2 or +8, and Roland Lawrence, who's a 4, makes the play. And Roland Lawrence is actually borrowed for this team. Off tackle left, Joe Washington, 2nd and 8. Guess wrong. Short gain, 16 yards. So that'll get inside the 20 at the Tombstone 17. And the offense will take a timeout here. As many as 9 plays possibly remaining. Both teams with 2 timeouts. That's some very dramatic Super Bowls, and this is another one. So flat pass left going at a 0, 1 man in zone, incomplete. Going to Ted Brown there. Anderson 27 of 46, 297 and 3 touchdowns. And 2nd and 10. Short to Dan Ross, guess right, 4 men in zone. It'll be a dump off, 7-yard pickup. Does he get out of bounds? He does. So Wilmington at the Tombstone 10, 52 seconds left, 3rd and 3. So flat pass is still in play here. So look in against the short yardage defense. Look into Ross. It's got 12 yards, touchdown, and Wilmington, with 37 seconds left, has taken a 36-35 lead. Extra point is good. Kickoff, 12 yards. Arthur Whittington, 27-yard return out to the 39. So 30 seconds left. You've got 5 potential plays, including the field goal attempt, and you're at your own 39. So you've got to get 29 yards to get to 2 through 6, 11, and 12 field goal range. And we've seen Wendell Tyler score from, he's going 3 wide receiver, 1 fullback with Tim Wilson to block. There's no dump offs at this point. It's long to Daryl Harris, 1 man deep. Long gain, 50 yards. Oh my gosh, Craig Morton hits the 8 off his card for the long gain. Down to the 11. Tombstone probably going to take a timeout. As we saw last week, though, he just put his kicker on the field and kicked it because the chances aren't getting any better, but he may take a couple shots to see if he can get in the end zone. So Tombstone takes the timeout at the 11. What a crazy ending. I've broadcast like 4 or 5 championship games in the last 4 months, and there have been quite a few of them that have just been wild endings. Almost hard to believe that you're watching this kind of an ending over and over and over, but here we go again. Tombstone scoring to take a late lead with 2:06 left. Wilmington drives down, gets a touchdown to take the lead, and here's Tombstone trying to win the Super Bowl. 22 seconds left, down by 2. Pro set versus 3-4 blitz. Jay would love to get a sack. Short pass to Monk, 4-minute zone. Oh my gosh. Sack fumble, and Wilmington has fallen on it. Oh my gosh, what a crazy game. Don Smith recovers the ball, and Tombstone down 37-35. Did not have a reliable kicker, so they threw the pass and tried to get the touchdown before the field goal attempt, but Craig Morton was sacked and lost the ball. Curtis Greer had was a pass rusher 1 going against a 0. So the chances were 1 through 48 against the 0, and he got a 21. What a crazy ending to the game. Wilmington 37, Tombstone 35. What a crazy game, John. Oops, John's gone. So Wilmington gets their 3rd IFL championship, 37-35, in a great, great Super Bowl number 17. And we'll have the guys jump on here in a moment, it looks like. I think we want to go.
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
Hey, Jay. Can you hear me, Jay? Jay gets set up here. We'll have him on.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you, buddy.
Can you hear me, Jay?
Tim, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Jay?
Tim, I don't hear you.
Okay. I can see and hear Jay. Make sure I haven't pulled the mic loose somehow, some way. That seems to be in there. And there's Brandon. Hey, Brandon.
Man,
What a great game.
that was insane.
That was. I mean, you score with like 2:06 left to take the lead. Jay drives down and takes the lead. And then you get the plus 50 long gain.
Ugh,
You can't trust your kicker.
no, he
And-
sucks.
Yeah. Man, excellent job of coaching, though. I don't think Wilmington gives up 35 points in 3 games, much less in 1. So very good job.
We had some luck, though. The block punt, the snap fumble, it was wild. That was
All
great.
right, I think I can hear and see you guys. So can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but you're pretty quiet.
Okay. How scale 1 to 10, Tim? How well can you hear me?
If you have another audio option, Jay, you're kind of muffled. I can't hear you, though.
This is always hard with my computer and StreamYard. It always changes different. I got 4 different possibilities here. Test 1, 2, 3. Is that better?
It's about the same.
Test 1, 2, 3. Is that better?
Yes, that's
Yes.
better.
All right. Oh, Brando, sorry, buddy. That was nuts. You were on such a great run, and
Ugh.
oh my gosh! And I mean, you hit that long gain there, setting you right up at the 11, and then it's like the strat gods just say, "Yep, nope, sorry, not today."
Yeah, I should have ran the ball, though. I had a timeout. I figured you knew. Well, my kicker sucks, right?
I know.
did not.
Yeah, I see where you're on the play, but I mean, your fumbles on your running backs, if I guess right, they all come up around 7, 8, 9%. So I get why you pass, right? It's just you ride the horse till it bucks you, right?
I got sacked because I left in the wrong blocking back. Maybe if I would have left Oliver in, he was a 2.
Oliver is making plays all day, just barely pushing away Curtis Greer. At twice, he came within 1 of getting the sack, even on the previous drive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what the random was on the sack that ended the game was pass blocker 0 against a pass rusher 1.
Yeah.
I mean, just barely even got a chance. So.
I would have been just fine if the regular defensive end showed up against Stan Walters again or something like that. But no, it kept showing up my really small asterisk.
I was just hoping Thompson would scare you with he's got a really good guess right. I could have line bucked him. And, Oliver ran like +7, I think twice for touchdowns earlier.
Yeah. No. Well, I did respect him enough. I threw a guy right into the line of scrimmage on him. Did he fumble on a key before? And somebody fumbled on a key. It might have been him. But I think you got the ball back. I'm sure you did. So
It's a little blurry.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, there was a fumble at one point on I want to say on 3rd and 2, you had a -1 fumble, and it was a offsetting or a offside penalty against the offense. So didn't have a chance to return it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So, I felt good. I stopped you on your 4th and long, and I'm like, I'm going for the kill shot. Rolled right into it. You double teamed Jefferson. I think you only had like one catch and I was on a double team too. Now, granted, it's a linebacker double team, so receiver still made the play. But you were on Jefferson a lot. Jefferson didn't get much of a chance, but you got that pick, and then boom, you come right back. But then I went right back, and then boom, one play, you're right back. It was nuts. What a nutty game. So.
Oh, I'm going to be kicking myself about that for a long time.
Yeah, you would have kicked yourself, though, if you just ran and missed a field goal. So
Yep.
I figured I cannot roll these dice to see for a field goal to win the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't do 2-6 or whatever it was. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's 2-7, whatever it was. I just just see a 9 or a 10. I could just see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although you didn't see any 9 and 10s the whole first half throwing the ball with Morton.
He was hot the whole playoffs.
He was on fire. So
And on your drive that you went ahead late, Brandon, your 2nd and 17, get a +20 to Casper, and then +55 to Casper. He had a great game. Yeah. Joe Washington on Jay's last drive, 27 yards on an off-tackle run with 2:06 left, hit the 2-minute warning, and Joe Washington had a great game too.
Yeah, Washington, he didn't fumble. That was big. I was, really thinking, honestly, I thought what would get me this game, I thought penalties could hurt. Penalties were not much of a factor, and I'm glad about that. But then Gastineau, I thought Gastineau could kill me. He had a huge sack, knocked me out of field goal range at one point. But other than that, he was quiet. And just crazy stuff. When I got that, I tell you, that first half, and I had a flat pass, guessed wrong, a snap fumble, a 1. I'm like, uh-oh. And then
we get the block punt.
Yep, you got the block punt were you even, I guess you have to go for the block to get that, which most guys don't even go for the block with penalties. So, because
it never occurred to me ever.
Yeah.
Just blocked.
Yeah. So, well, I guess if it's 4th and 16 or more, I go for the block. But even then, a personal foul would wipe that out.
Never even occurred to me. Never even thought about that.
No, I guess obviously you get so used to it. And then you had that 69-yard run, all that and then I couldn't stop you. Like I said, the Reds scored 24 runs yesterday with Charlie Morton starting pitching for Baltimore. I'm like, I can keep him under 24. I can keep him under. No, I couldn't. So, yeah.
It was a battle.
Yeah. Well, you did a great job, and what a heck of a run. Like I said, it was fit. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I should have double teamed there. I kind of thought when you had that 2nd and 17, I was kind of feeling Casper there because he is such a good flat card. But I was like, we'll just be cool, not make a mistake. Let's not make a mistake. Well, and then the white die 6 for 20 yards and boom. And so, well, it was heck of a ride. I was looking over some of your other games to get there, man. I mean, it was just down the stretch. You got whatever roll you needed, and you came within 1 of doing it again. So
we beat Dan Fouts on Dennis's team. We had a kick return, amazing win against Adeline.
Yep. And that one you just kicked it. You just said, like, go out and get it. I think you had a timeout on that one. You're like, it's kick it. And it worked, right? And this time we caught. So I was like,
was it the same situation? Man,
I think you had a timeout. It was really close. But I was like, wow, look at that. And then then it come up with a sack. I'm like, okay.
I'll admit I was screaming and yelling. I was going crazy over here. I hit that long gain. Oh my God.
Yep. Oh jeez. Well, I know you've been trying to pull one of these out for a while. And like I said, I was pulling for you, but not today.
No,
I wasn't pulling for you today, buddy. I wasn't. So
no, we're 0-2 in the big games in all these leagues. Not only one time in this league, but
yeah. Well, and of course we had the finals in the tournament too, right? And that was crazy. Just kept coming down. I just needed one roll and I couldn't get it. And you just kept hanging around. That one, you just came up one roll short. I think you stalled out around a 15 or something, So
Tim, me and Jay played some big games lately.
Yeah.
In different leagugues.
Yep. Yeah. He knocked me out. I had a better team on, I think, a little bit in our face-to-face league. And certainly had a better record regular season. And then no, I didn't call run enough in that one, and I'll call a run on a second down, and you got a receiver on an 8. I was like, you dummy, and so, but then you had some big hits when you, like I said, you hit that 69-yarder. I was guessed wrong, so what you gonna do?
I mean, the first quarter, I was 21 points in the first quarter.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I was never comfortable, though, because I'm thinking, I was looking at the game. I'm like, man, this team dominated all season, like lots of blowouts. And I'm like, I got to have some luck, and I got to be real aggressive. It's the only chance.
Yeah. Well, I was annoyed. I kept leaving you with short fields on kickoffs.
Yeah. I thought I was going to be in trouble. I thought you were going to kill me on the kickoffs. But I ended up having great ones.
Yeah. So, it kept hitting like 15, giving you running starts, 15-yard line, 18-yard line, 12-yard line, and never hit the middle of my return card, my 7 and 8, which are really good. And you kept pounding your 7 and 8 whenever you'd score, and so, those are kind of hidden yards there. I still put up almost 600 yards. I don't know. It was 584 or something. But
that's why I went for it on 4th and 10, because I was thinking to myself, it's like you spotted me 21 points, and can I hold on? That's how I felt the game went.
Yeah,
because your offense is so tough, and I figured going for it on there to get a short pass. And I think I had a guessed. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I was a guess.
It was a guess wrong short pass. It was I know you had somewhere in there. You had a guess wrong short pass and finally missed on Morton's card. You had a miss there. It was he didn't miss many in this tournament. So.
I looked at my phone a second ago. I guess my dad's on there trying to get on here. He said run. That was the last. He's been texting me like crazy during the game.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
He didn't say that right before the long gain, though, I guess, did he?
I don't know when he said it. I figure he said it right before I got sacked and fumbled, but
yeah. No, congratulations on a great run.
That was fun.
Yeah. Well, Tim, thanks for doing it. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie, Brandon. Ever since I got in this league and had Kenny Anderson, 1981 was my season that I looked at. So and if you take some solace, I've been building for this thing for 10 years. And so, I knew it was his MVP, and he's had other great cards. 75, 74 were fantastic. I think even a little better than this one. 82 is going to be spectacular too. Maybe even a little better than this one. It's marginal, but that's Anderson's MVP season. That's really the year where I most got into football, is when the Bengals made that Super Bowl run. And so I've always had this season highlighted as we did team building. So, and I was like, man, the guy I traded you was going to beat me, right? Because I traded you Morton it was Wilmington, not Wilmington, Adeline that traded you Morton.
I forget what the trade was, but I remember.
It was like I think it probably got like a second and third or something. I mean, it was good for both teams. Ron Adeline drafted Morton. Ron Dickinson, who founded Adeline, he drafted Morton, and always knew he had this great twilight of his career. Sort of held on to him in all his crappy years with the Giants, and he was, even when he played with Dallas, he wasn't very good. I know this is way before you were even born, Brandon, but Ron lived through it all. But he knew he had this great twilight to his career. And I know, Tim, I heard you talking that the Morton card is not one that people think about, but that is a really good card. The hits on it, 16 hits short, respectable, a nice flat, a nice long. Apparently that long is a long gain on an 8, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was mad I didn't put 2 guys back, or that I didn't try to double team. I'm like, let's just not do crazy. I don't think he throws long on the first play. You did. Bam. And all right. So yeah. Well, anyway. Well.
Hey Jay, was Morton or Zorn Adeline's quarterback in '79?
Would have been Zorn. Yeah, we had those two, converging, and so I'm sure, Brandon, you would have had. You got 3 nice years out of Morton at least. That's probably where I made the trade, was where maybe 78, but that Zorn and Morton were both so close that we dealt Morton there. So but it's been a few years now. It might have been 78, maybe. Might have been when that trade was made. So
yeah, and Morton made the '76 Super Bowl for Adeline also. They didn't win, but he helped get them there. And I actually remember, Ron, when we had the draft, Morton dropped basically to the end of the first round, and Ron's email reply to people were, "I'm taking Craig Morton." Fools, thinking people were not smart and letting because there weren't many good quarterbacks that came into the National Football League from 65 to 70. Most of them were AFC guys. So.
Yeah, so Morton, I think Zorn was like a 2nd round pick, 2nd or 3rd. He slid, and I knew he had some really good cards. He was way worth that pick there. So even though the career is relatively short, but he had such a nice window right there. And so Ron knew it. He knew it. What he had there. So
yeah, Zorn always kind of reminded me a little of Jake Delhomme, and that they had a really good 3 to 4 year stretch, but there's some cards you don't want to necessarily have to start around them. So.
Yeah. So Brandon, did you have a strategy heading into this game? I know you said you had a strategy for Adeline. You said, I don't know if it'll work, but I got one. And I guess that one was just to throw bombs, or at least bombs early. Is that what you were doing there?
I wrote play aggressive, line buck with my fullback a lot, and run Taylor, short and long to Monk.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to write it down, but I knew I had to play. I had to go for some 4th downs. That was part of the plan.
Yeah.
And get luck and get dice. That was the plan.
Well, it was a great run. It was a great run. So.
Oh, it was dramatic.
Oh yeah.
It almost felt like you were destined when you hit that long game. I'm like,
I was believing.
This is a team of destiny.
That's what I told Tim heading in. I said, he could be a team of destiny. I'm worried about that, and you're just one play away from being a team of destiny. So, man, nuts. So,
all right, guys.
All right. Have a good night. All right. Okay. Thank you. Tim, I'm almost done with the draft list. I'll send it out to everybody. I know that nobody needs it, obviously, for 5-6 months, but
we need it right away, actually, because some of us like to crunch numbers ahead of time on stuff like that. So, no rush. I understand.
Yeah, no, and I feel like, if I have it, I don't want to hold on to it. I release it as soon as it's done. And the guys do with it what they will. So, yeah.
Yeah. And anybody who's listening to the broadcast will be getting the draft seating set up later this week. We'll have the lottery. In the past, I've done that like 2 or 3 days after the season, and I kind of wanted to let the playoffs have their own little time in the spotlight. So we'll do that this week, though. So,
all right. I'm glad you could do this for us, Tim. We appreciate it, and and thanks for all you do.
Hey, thank you, and congratulations. 3 out of what you won in 75, 79, and 81 now. So
Yeah, that
great little run there with Kenny.
yeah. Well, thank you. We got 2 more good years with. Well, all right. So Kenny is still great in 82. Might be a better card than 81. It's
Wow.
Whatever. 83 and 84, he gets hurt some. He becomes just more of a flat pass kind of guy, kind of a flat and short, kind of a what's Shane Matthews. Is that who you have in Tecmo? And it's Matthews. It's Steve Matthews,
Yeah.
Shane Matthews. Yeah,
Shane Matthews, yeah.
yeah, kind of a Chad Pennington kind of
But-
guy, thinking dunk.
But
But
you went 14-0 with at one of Anderson's off years. He reminded me actually a little bit of Joe Ferguson card I just had in 81, where he's kind of average in most everything, below average short, but he's kind of average flat, and he's bad right, guess wrong, or on long, but guess wrong. He's got 12, and you can live with his guess, and that's why you coached Anderson that year. A lot of runs, just move the chains and try to hit a couple bombs during the game. So
I had a really strong defense that year, and so that kind of helped me. But I remember it was Dale that got me in the playoffs that year. I remember you called the game. Dale kept getting 3rd and longs and just kept running the ball and beat and contain. He beat it, he'd hit my 8 or he'd roll a 3 or get a block assist. He just 3rd and 6 kept running. And I remember because I smoked him pretty good regular season that year, and he was kind of gun shy from, trying to throw down fields. He's like, I'm just keep running it. And I should have adjusted and maybe called run once or twice, that certainly would have helped. But I was like, no, he can't keep hitting. Well, he did. And then, so yeah, I do remember that when he knocked me out of the playoffs in that one. I think he went to the finals.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was Alfred Jenkins' touchdown to win the game with 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
He throws bomb to Alfred Jenkins and hits it. So.
Yep. Exactly. So, yeah, well, we'll see where we go from here. But that was, I didn't anticipate that game going like that.
Wow.
So
yeah, I'm sure you weren't thinking, if I give up 35 points, I'll be the champion. Right.
Yep. Well, anyway. Well, all right. I think we're going to be eating here soon. So, thanks for you. And I know Anthony did a lot. And so, bad timing for him, obviously, but I'm glad you could make it. So,
well, sounds good. And again, congratulations on championship number 3, Jay.
Appreciate it, bud.
And everybody take care. We'll see you next year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.